Gandamu Schmo. Hello, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to be giving you my review for the RG Ava Unit-01 DX model. This is a kit I was very excited for as soon as it was heard. If you want to hear more about that, you can hear it in my unboxing video. Today I want to be talking to you guys about the model kit itself, what I liked, what I didn't like, which I'll spoiler up front, there's not a whole lot I didn't like here, but there's tiny little nitpicks, but we'll get to that in a minute. So all that being said, let's get into the review. So starting off, the build process was quite enjoyable, and I believe I said it in my unboxing, but it was a lot of fun using these long, curved, rounded shapes instead of just your standard, blocks almost in a lot of Gundam kits. So it was a lot of fun. You spend, for example, here on the chest unit, you spend quite a bit of time, putting everything into place, and then you put in silver stickers between the rib cages, and it overall lends itself to a very fun, a very enjoyable experience that was unlike a lot of the kits I built. I really found myself enjoying, and the time flew by. It is a fun build overall, and I know that that's a term that gets thrown around a lot. It's like, oh, a fun build, but it's like, no. There's fun in terms of it's not a complete shit show and you enjoy it, versus I had a really good time building this. Sorry about that. I put in some background music, and I don't know how to gush on about it. I'll stop, but it was a really, really fun time building it. It's not hard, and it's not too long. You get some, not really extra parts. There's some stickers. You have to put a lot of these metallic, stickers in certain places. They're metal. I haven't put everything on yet. I am planning on putting, these stickers are for the DX transport, but yeah, overall it was a fun build process, and I would recommend, even if you're not into Ava, I would recommend buying this kit just to be able to experience a build kit that is a little different than your standard Gunpla or your standard Gundam model. That being said, let's keep moving. So with this kit, you do get a healthy helping of accessories. First of all, you get a boatload of extra hands, and each hand, I don't have like the thing right now, but you get a hand, and then you get a little knuckle adjustment, little gray metal thing that goes on each knuckle. And I was kind of an idiot. I probably should have matched everything up before I kind of threw them in the little accessory baggie, but I'll go through the manual later and figure out which goes with which. But other than that, you get, as you can see, the AT field here, which you can rip through. I had a little bit of trouble propping it up like this, trying to find a stable position for it, but that's going to get something I'm going to talk about in the articulation. But it looks nice. It's got a specialty hands just for holding it, and cut in the AT field is built specifically for it. You get the rifle here, the can't remember what it's called. It's calling it the 209 millimeter, but there was a specific name from the show. I can't remember what it's called though, but it's quite cool. There's actually, like, this orange bit in here is like a track almost, where it looks like it's I can't remember what it's called, like clips or how you would feed into a rifle, but overall it's really cool. When you pop out the wrists, what you're supposed to do, I'm just noticing right now, when I took out the hand, I popped it out as well. You're supposed to press down on the armor guard and pull it out as well. I'll probably have to put this back in a minute, but this is not included. I know that there was 2 versions of this that were included. It was the standard release, which comes with all of this that I've shown you, including these knives, which can be stored in the shoulder guards. And then you get this, which is the DX transport kit, and I'll talk about it a little bit in a little bit. I think it's really cool, but I do have some problems with it because I can't seem to get it to stay in place. The way you're supposed to do this is there's an umbilical cord in the back here. You plug it into a hole on the back, and then I actually clipped mine because I found it to be too long for what I needed. But what you do, you pull this up, and you pull that down, and then these little elbow guards, you plug them into place. There's a way to do it, and then you lock it. And what I found is that it doesn't stick in. I can't get it to hold in place with the locking mechanism, so I can't really get it into the posing position that yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. But I've used it for other things at DX Transport, but I haven't been able to properly lock in. I've done more, as you can see in the intro to the video, some positions where it's on the umbilical cord, but it does not quite lock in like it's in sleep mode or whatever. But overall, the accessories are amazing and a lot more than you're gonna get on a regular kit. So that being said, let's move on to Articulation. Oh, sorry, just a little PS note. You get stickers as well, but I believe I mentioned them as well. You get quite a lot of good stickers, and it shows you how on the back of the manual. I'm not sure what the actual sticker sheet would look like for just the standard kit. I'm assuming it comes with everything except this little bottom half, because I believe these go onto here, and then everything else, Ava Unit-01, Ava 1 Test, all of your standard stickers. But yeah, that being said, let's move on to articulation for real this time. So the articulation of this kit is actually fantastic, but I do have one problem, though I believe it's a mistake I made. I think I stripped something in the right arm, because it just comes out like that, where I'm struggling to get into poses. It holds kind of, but at any moment it's a risk of popping out. Like I said, if this is happening with your kit, please let me know if there's any kind of fix, or I'm suspecting that it's something I did. I went back and tried to rebuild it and do it again, and I'm getting the same results. So I think that I might have accidentally stripped something, because it's happening on the left arm as well, even though I followed the instructions perfectly. So I would love to know if you have any advice, or if there's anything there you can tell me. But that being said, you get some excellent articulation in the elbow. You get, it goes up about that high, the shoulder. You get some articulation in these little shoulder units. The little guard here can come up and down. Yeah, their arm off. I can't really put that on or off right now. You get an amazing arc. You get a pretty decent crunch. In terms of the head, the jaw goes down about that much, and you can get a full 360 on the head. And what's interesting here on the back, what you do is you pop this, and then you pop this up. It's not usually supposed to fall out, but there's a little, I can't remember what it's called right now. The little tube that goes in, I can't remember where the pilot actually is in. But yeah, that's actually a very nice feature and welcome, appreciated. Like I know some, and then you push it back in place. Some Ava kits, they include it, some they don't, some is just like built in, but it's very appreciated that I can just put it straight in. But the kick basically is almost a pivot. The arm's blocking it, that was not normally. I mean, that is a hell of a kick there. That's about as, probably the best kick I've ever seen. But you have to remember, this isn't big and clunky and blocky like a standard Gundam kit. So it's very segmented almost. I don't know how to describe it. You get about that much of a kick. There's a little bit of articulation in this knee guard, and you get about this much of a pivot, which is impossible, I guess, and a little bit of, oh, that just popped off, but that was me. I was a little manhandling. Sorry, this interview's all over. Sorry, this review's all over the place, but this you get a little articulation here. So overall, oh, and really quick, there's a way to do it. I can't remember right now, but you can move these, and it will expose the chest weapons here. But yeah, overall, this is a fantastic, it's probably one of the most articulated kits I have ever seen. Seconded maybe only to this bad boy right here, which spoilers for what's coming in the future. But yeah, overall the articulation is great. Please let someone, if you can tell me what's going on with my arm unit, if it's just me, because these things are just sliding off, and like I said, as far as I can tell, I haven't stripped anything, but they just do not seem to want to stick, and I've tried rebuilding them and it doesn't work. Please let me know. I think that might somehow be related to my problem with the DX transport, or maybe it's just a factory default, or maybe I just screwed it up because, you know, that happens. But overall, articulation, huge, massive thumbs up on that. And now on to the size comparison. This is a tall kit. You wouldn't think so, but I mean, because most of the time it's hunched over, which, you know, that's the general look of an Ava. It always looks hunched over. You wouldn't, most of the time, like pose it straight up unless it's in the DX transport. But here it is next to the 144 G40 RX78-2. Here is it next to the transport case. Here it is next to the MG Double Zeta Verka, and as always, here it is next to the RE100 Nightingale, which pretty much every kit I'm gonna put it up next to is dwarfs it in comparison. So it's a very slender kit, but it is a tall kit. It does have a bit of presence, but like I said, look at how blocky some of these kits are. And, well, obviously not Nightingale over there, but compare these two with just these straight lines, and it's just boxy versus the very slender, very curved, very long and thin and almost gaunt looking, which is a weird word to use for, like I said, I said in the unboxing, I'm not gonna get into any lore behind any of this, but it's a big kit. And for a real grade, I mean, here's another real grade, which is gonna be the next real grade review I'm gonna be looking at, the Uma Lightning RG Zaku. It's almost twice the size. So, yeah, big kit, all right? So that's gonna about do it for this review. My ultimate, you know, what I can say about this, buy it. I don't wanna like, you know, gush about, buy it. Just straight up buy it. I cannot stress it. If you can find it, buy it. Buy it, people. This is amazing. This is one of my favorite kits I've ever built, even with the problems with the arms. which I want to find it. This, in a lot of ways, reminded me why I love building model kits, and not just Gundam, not just Gunpla. I love Ava, but it was also as a model kit. It's fun for those who have never built a kit before, as a good introduction because it's easy, and for those who have built a lot of kits like I have, this is a nice breath of fresh air. And the articulation is crazy, eminently posable, and it's one of the most iconic, suits ever in any medium in terms of, mecha, the mecha genre. So buy it. All right, guys. That's gonna about do it for me. So take it easy, and I hope everyone's doing well out there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Gandamu, Gandamu, Shmo, da 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 da.